Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live Community Review Sunday edition. Thanks, everybody, for joining. This is a live event we do here in the Indie Music Feedback Discord group. We join up and everybody gets to submit a song up to 7 minutes, and we will give you feedback in real time when it's your turn. You get to introduce your track before we start it. So when it's your turn, just have something ready to say and let us know about your song. Let us know where you're at with the writing process. If it's still writing or already written and mixing and already released, whatever the case may be, let us know the story of the song and let us know what kind of feedback we can give you, whether it's songwriting help or help with mixing, or if it's already released and you just want general feedback, we can do that too. Let's see, as far as giving feedback, just keep it constructive and helpful. It's okay to have critical feedback and to disagree for sure. It's good to get different opinions. Just make sure that you're keeping it constructive and helpful. The whole idea is to help each other get better at this whole music thing. And just keep that in mind when you're giving feedback. And just do the best you can. And if somebody is, say, like more advanced than you and they're asking for mixed feedback and you don't really know what to say, that's okay too. You can just give like general vibe feedback or whatever. Just do the best you can, and that's all that we ask. And plan to stick around the whole time. Probably take a little over an hour today, and to give feedback on every song to the best of your ability. And I think, with all that said, we covered enough rules. We can go ahead and just dive right in. And first up is Iman Spark. We're going to listen to his Little Devil in Red remix. I will let him introduce it. Okay, he says it's 1:45 a.m. here now, so I'm kind of sleepy. This song is a collab project, which I didn't have any plans working on before. Me and my collaborator Ava were working on a couple different tracks. She asked me if I want to make a remix of her song. So I listened to the song. I actually made a completely different style of song idea with different melodies, chords, and arrangement. Then I asked her to retake the vocals with the new melodies. So only the lyrics remained the same. Oh, that's cool. After she sent the new takes, I wrapped up the project within a week. The song got released on the 14th, Valentine's Day. A different melodic vibe you might get here. Let me know what you think. And Iman and I have a collab that's going to release on the 14th of this month. Less than 2 weeks away. All right, here is Iman.
She's kissing your neck right now. There's no one home and you're on her couch. She wears my perfume. She's probably doing the thing you like. I did it better, but that's alright. You got someone new. Oh, but I know I'm still on your mind. Whenever you touch or make your thoughts go at school. Oh, but I know I'm still on your mind whenever you touch or make your thoughts go wild. Under the covers, I'm in all of the smallest spaces inside your head. You thought you could do so much better, now you're loving her. Trying to forget about me, but you can't, so I'll be your little devil in red. I'm no saint, but I'm no sinner. In this world, it's just one winner. I'm still on your mind whenever you touch or make your thoughts go wild. Under the covers, I'm in all of the smallest spaces inside your head. You thought you could do so much better, now you're loving her. Trying to forget about me, but you can't, so I'll be your little devil in red. I'm no saint, but I'm no sinner. In this world, it's just one winner.
All right, kicking things off. That was Iman Spark and his remix of Little Devil in Red. Yeah, I got to check out the original and see how different it is. That sounds really cool. I didn't realize that you changed so much with that, so I didn't bother checking out the original, but that sounds cool. Yeah, it sounds really, really great. I think I told you that before, but the mix is perfect, I think. The kick and bass work really good together. And I like the sparkly thing that kind of moves around the panning. But her vocals sound great. I'm sure that she was happy with how they sound. And yeah, just great job. Good stuff. Sounds great as always. Great mix and master and all that. And thank you for going first and kicking things off with the energy. Second up today is Zeron. We're going to go to YouTube. Oops. I don't know how these get messed up every time. Just happens. Okay, Zeron says, submitting a different vibe today. This is my band's latest song, just out on February 28th, 2 days ago, produced and mixed by me. Hell yeah. Cool, excited to hear your band. Let's get it going.
I never got to see you again. All your calls and letters sent. Old and mortal of mine at risk. I hope that you know that you still exist. I hope that you know that you still. And you know I can't be yours. The tide will wash me away. And I wish I told you before.
right. Two absolute bangers to kick things off today. Yeah, that was great. That was a really good song, really good arrangement and performances across the board. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Um, yeah, I think lots of comments on the mix and stuff. I think the low end was mixed perfectly and the vocals were mixed like pretty much perfectly. I would just bring the guitars kind of up and like fill out the low mids, and the high mids were kind of there. So I think just like in general, some more low mids in the mix would be good. Just kind of fill things out a bit more. But yeah, I mean, I love the song. I love the arrangement. I love the way that you mixed it. I love, yeah, sounds great. Yeah. Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting two vocalists. That was really cool. I don't know if you did any, but yeah, cool song. Really good stuff. And let me think. Let's go. All right, awesome. So next up today we have Indigo Cypress. We're gonna go to Bandcamp. There we are. Okie dokie. Coolness. Okay, Indigo Cypress says, hello, this track is from my latest album. Just want some feedback on the track and general composition, jungle, drill, and bass vibe. Made for a noise-focused album. Made in like 2 hours. Enjoy. All right, here is Indigo Cypress. All right, that was Indigo Cypress. Amazing stuff. I really liked it. I really like the noise elements. I think you did a great job writing that line between really bright and textury and noisy, but not painful. I have it pretty loud, and it was good. It was writing that line perfectly, I think. I agree that bass could have more bass in the first 2/3 of the song, especially after hearing that huge impact bass that you hit at the end. That opened my ears to like how much room there was in the low end. So maybe in the first half, if you bring some of that low end into the bass, I think it would be perfect. I think that would really flesh it out. And then, but yeah, the end, the low end on the end is so nice. It sounded so good. So that made me like want more low end in the first half. So, but it is a really nice touch because it hits really, really nice. That was really well done. But yeah, great stuff. It's just banger after banger today. Pressure's on, y'all. Okay, so next up we have Flatterectomy. We get to go back to Winamp. Okay, so Flat says this is Kill Baby Hitler. Working title, not sure if algorithms will appreciate it. My entry from this week's disaster-themed songwriting blitz. Cleaned up the vocal alignment since then, added more vocal layers, some synth details, and general polish. I think this will fit well on my next EP, so I'm open to any feedback. All right, here is Flatterectomy and Kill Baby Hitler.
Would you, if somehow you could you? Should you, and do speak the truth? Now would you if there were a way to do what you'd need to do? How could you? Kill baby Hitler. Future might just give the tools to you. Future you might try to do. Now would you? Sooner would be nice, but how could you? Führer has to wait a few more futures. It's a disaster. There's fucking Nazis at the door. They're not even hiding anymore. So what comes after? It's a disaster. Somehow now the time has come to you. Somehow you don't have to travel back now. Just how badly do you want to do? Come out and do what we all want you to do. It's a disaster. There's fucking Nazis at the door. They're not even hiding anymore. So what comes after? It's a disaster.
right. That was Flatterectomy. That was great. I'm sorry I missed the Blitz this week. I actually made a song for it, and then I missed Blitz like an idiot. But Flat hosted it this week, which is awesome. Congrats on hosting the old stream. I think it was your first time, so congrats, and hopefully you get to do it more. But I love that song. I love the vocals. I love the chorus a lot. The only thing I don't love is the piano. I'm not sure what... I was thinking maybe if you had like an arpeggio instead, like a bubbly arpeggio instead of the piano, that might sound cool, doing the same chords. I don't know. I just didn't love the piano, but it is something different because I was thinking about that stab sound, but then you go to the stab sound in the chorus and then you use it for the bridge. So I wouldn't use it for the verses too. But I don't know. That was just my thought. I didn't, that just was the one thing that kind of stuck out to me. But anyway, I love the song. I hope I hope people hear it. It's great. The chorus is really good. I think it would fit with your EP. I agree. I think you should put it on it. Sorry for my squeaky desk. I need to build a new desk. I just use a fold-up table for my desk, so it's a little ghetto. But it works. No, nobody wants to hear this desk. All right. More funky? I don't know about that. Okay. Beautiful. Next up today we have Tez, aka Albard. All right. Tez says, I released my first indie rock synthy song, The Rest, for Albard last October. Hated how it sounded on major streaming. Compression algorithm revealed mixing flaws. Rewrote, re-recorded, remixed, and remastered the track basically in a new key and made it longer, which was feedback I got the first time. Also changed the name to Everything You'll Miss. Gonna re-release it hopefully within the next week or so. Looking for general mix feedback, things you like, things that could use improvement. Also looking for specifically for feedback about how it responds to your listening system. Headphones, monitors, laptops, let him know what you are hearing it on. All right. Here is Tez.
When they all said that this would be the end, we hoped you would choose us over. What about us? What about this? Just stop and think about everything you'll miss.
right. Another banger. It's one after another today. Yeah, that was great. I think it sounds really, really good. I'm not 100% sure I remember how it sounded before, but now it sounds really polished. It sounds really like clean and open. And I think like your reverb and stuff is perfect. It just kind of like had the perfect amount of space. So I think it was really, really well done. The only thing I would say is that bass guitar thing that comes in at the end, I think it could be louder, like kind of almost obnoxiously loud, because there's not too much else going on that it's going to cover up. There's like some melodies that come in and stuff, but I think it'll work. I think it'll work if you just kind of put it like a little bit louder, like kind of obnoxiously loud, for like just like a lot of impact. I think it'll really work. Just my opinion. But that was all that I think I would change personally. I think it sounds really, really, really good. I think you did a great job. Yeah, especially considering like the beginning and the end are so different. I think you did a good job balancing those. I would just turn that guitar up, but it sounds great. Yeah, I think you did perfect. I think that will definitely come out really good on streaming. Sounds like a good mix and master to me. And I forget. Yes, okay. You're messed up. Okay, next up today we have Snoggle. Go ahead and introduce your track for us. Okay, Snoggle says, hi, this is a track from an album I released back in November. Just wanted feedback on mixing with solo vocals, as I almost always layer my vocals, so this was actually quite a challenge for me. Thanks. All right, awesome. Here is Snoggle.
I'm heading out soon. It feels I'm changing course in a history I hope we could leave untouched. In the past, but it seems the time has passed in a fate we couldn't outlast. Don't wait for me if you don't want to. I understand completely, and I know you think it's all just part of the plan. But you gave me water to cup in the palm of my hands, and fought by tears, it leaked right through my fingers before I even made it out the door. I can see miles stretched before us in your eyes. And oh, how my feet are bruised and blistered. The fault lines still grind beneath as I walk the path. It's gonna be a while, but I won't let it grind me down to dust. No, I will fill those cracks with my flesh and still the ground so you can make it home. So you can make it home. So you can make it home. There's a rainbow in the bubble, surrounding people, sharing minds. We can fall out from time to time, lose the feeling of being inside. If you're outside that bubble right now, I'm speaking to your soul. I know what that feels like. I'm here to trip you up and bring you home.
All right, that was Snoggle. That was amazing. Sounded absolutely amazing. Yes, the vocals, you did a perfect job of the solo vocals. I love the way you used the really long reverb tails as kind of like a call and response. I think that helped a lot to fill in and to make the solo vocal sound absolutely huge. I liked the way it was mixed really loud, the vocal. I mean, it's like the main thing in the song, but so it makes sense. But like, I really like the way it was mixed and balanced with the instrumental. And then when you do hit us with the layered vocals, they really have a lot of impact and size, because we've been hearing just the one vocal right in our face, and then we get to hear this big chorus. So that sounds really cool with the contrast. So yeah, I think you did it perfectly. The song itself is really, really, really good. The lyrics and everything, and just the emotion of the vocal performance and the falsetto was really impressive. I wish I could do that. Holy shit. Yeah, great stuff. That was amazing. Yeah, really good. Okay, so next up today we have Mr. Meowsicles and Flora Lynn, I think. Okay, so yes, Mr. Meowsicles and Flora Lynn have been working on a follow-up to our Flora album titled Fauna. Have a little story built up with each song being tied to an animal, similarly to Flora with the flowers. Continuing our mix of post-rock and shoegaze, but adding some different genre touches this time. This will be the first track that will reprise later in a different way as the conclusion. Oh, cool. And all feedback is welcome. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Spiraling to the dust. Who will lose first? Will I take you down when my head hits the ground? Almost like a game from the outside, fighting a cage with no prize to win. Losing game. It's too early to give up, so we go until the pieces are too broken to pick up when it becomes too late to listen. The more it hurts, the more we keep the fight. Does it matter if we're right? There's no one else to protect our pride. So we go on until we're too bruised to fight. Everything is like a game from the outside, fighting a cage for a high price to pay. In a cage, I say you don't care enough, although I know you care too much. We're not ready to give up. Lose without to lose each other. It hurts the more we keep the fight. Doesn't matter if we're right. There's no one else to protect our pride. So we go on until we're too bruised to fight. Right before we turn to dust, what would be the cost? It'll take you down when my head hits the ground. It's a losing game that we must play, fighting a cage for some little crumbs. We must play.
All right. That was Mr. Miascos and Flora Lynn sounding amazing together again. I love the vibe and everything. I think it continues from the last album, and but it has a different sound too. Like it's more, I guess, aggressive sounding, which is cool. So yeah, it's like taking on a new shape as you take on the new fauna theme. But I loved the vocals. I loved the different like guitar layers and everything. For me, the really heavy guitar was like kind of overly like growly or papery, or I think maybe just because it was like kind of clashing with the vocals a little bit, maybe. I would say on that guitar specifically, maybe carve out some like 2K so the vocals have a little bit more like bite or whatever. I don't know. That was the only one that kind of stood out to me. But I'm not that used to hearing like 8-string guitars and stuff, so I'm not exactly sure how that was supposed to sound. But that was the only thing that kind of stuck out to me. But yeah, I love the vibe, and I love the song, and I love the vocals, and I loved the many guitar layers and melodies and intricacies, the shoegaziness of it. Oh, it was a 6-string. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know nothing about guitars anymore. Yes, Telecasters do that so well. Okay, awesome. So next up today we have Pogmaz. Okay, they say had around 3 or 4 versions of this song with the damn bass, but was never satisfied with what it came up with. Then sound effects saved the day. Field recording, to be exact. So using some wind recordings, I made what's supposed to be a chill kind of vibey track. Doesn't exactly have traditional pacing, so yeah, hope you enjoy. Made in FL Studio Mobile. All right, here we go. That was Pod Maz with some FL Studio, FL Mobile magic. Yeah, that was great. It definitely reminded me of like highway driving at night through a city. I guess not like retro wave type stuff, but like just more gritty and modern. But the wind effects definitely like set the atmosphere, like you said. I think that was great. But I loved the use of the stereo field in that. It was really, really good. Really well done. Lots of space, and it was like used up very well. And yeah, just a lot of attention to detail on little things. That the chords that come in like halfway through, the like piano-y, guitar-y chord thing, really liked that. That was a cool sound, and I loved the panning on that. But yeah, I think it sounds good. I think it sounds great, and I think I think those wind sounds kind of tie it all together, like you said. But yeah, nothing but good things to say about that. It was all really, really well done. Yeah. Yeah, I could pitch your music to them as like a advertisement campaign. Okay, so next up today we have, I'm not sure how to say your name, Amy Triptyline. Okay, so this song's a cover for my favorite band. I've been going through some issues with my recording equipment, so it may sound a little fuzzy. Just released it last week. All right, awesome. Here we go. Sorry, just 1 second. I wasn't ready with Spotify. Give me just a second.
As she's kissing your neck right.
All right. That was awesome. That was just like pure punk energy. Yeah, like you said, the mix was kind of a mess, but for the style and for the song, it works perfectly. Yeah, I would say the only thing for me is like the drums had like maybe too much reverb on them, but yeah, again, I mean, like it all works together perfectly as the mix and the song and everything. So it's like just I would say for future stuff, like I like drums that are more forward, but that's just my thing. But yeah, I think it sounds great. I think the song's good. I think that it all works together great and sounds like it should. So yeah, that was great. Thank you for sharing. I'm not sure if I've heard from you before, if this is your first time here or not, but it's good to have you. And yeah, I really liked it. So thank you. It's good that you released it. Just release stuff, like write stuff, release it, keep going. I love it. All right. So next up today we have JW. Continuing with the distorted guitar theme, I'm sure. Let's see, we're going back here. Okay, JW says, hi, today I'm sharing the same track as last week. It's a song called There Is No Way Out. I changed the arrangement a bit to include some trumpet, and my friend recorded for me last year, along with some piano melodies that I recorded. It still needs some more vocals in some parts, but other than that, it's fully recorded. Any feedback is welcome, though I could use some more advice on the mix more than anything. It isn't mastered, so it's probably a bit quiet. Are there any timing issues, bass loud enough, and do the drums sound decent? All right, here is JW.
Thank
All right, that was JW. Sounding good, sounding like progress. I like the song. I love the trumpet. I think the mix is coming along. I think there's kind of like build up in the mids right now, with the guitars and the bass. Like the mids and the high mids are kind of getting a little bit muddy, but muddy's not the right word because then you think of low mids. But anyway, that was all I was kind of hearing, was just kind of a build up there with all the different guitars and stuff going. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. I think, let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I was going to say with mastering limiter on there and everything, it'll sound a little bit more like polished and hi-fi sounding. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Great stuff. It's coming along nicely. It's a lot of layers and stuff to mix in that one, so it's a lot to balance for sure. Okay, next up today we have Kirby Cat. And he says, this is one of my favorite tracks. I just accepted the fact that I sing better in a high pitch. It's about thinking too much before taking action, feeling lost in self-doubt. All right, cool. Here we go with Kirby Cat.
You do it in mind, just keeping coming out. You do it in mind, just keeping coming out. But it's not okay when my mind tells me every day I don't have a word to say. Every day, running my mind like I'm playing out. Just room and I see the moon, no light. I should in my head, just keeping coming out.
All right, that was Kirby Cat. That is another banger added to the list today. Yeah, that was great. I really like it. Obviously the vocals are pretty raw still, but the melodies are really, really good. It's very hooky. The high falsetto stuff is really good. Good job on that. But yeah, it's sounding really good. The song is very catchy, very good. And yeah, I can't wait to hear that with like the final vocals. And to hear what you do with the vocals, if you're gonna like layer stuff or anything. But yeah, once you get that nailed down, that's gonna be a really, really, really good song. Really like it. The production is really good. It's like a little bit less like crazy modern like hyper poppy stuff that you sometimes do. It's a little bit more grounded, but it sounds really good. I think it sounds really cool. And yeah, I love it. Love the song. Good stuff. All right, that brings us to the end. I will be doing the last song for us today. I'm working on a remix of my song Come Alive. I'm trying to make like a workout mix for gym playlists or like spin class or something like that. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. I experimented this morning with moving the ending to the middle. So it kind of changes to the outro and then back into the verse. So let me know if that works or not. I'm not really sure. I just tried to do that this morning and I think it kind of works. But anyway, let me know what you think overall. I'm still just like totally experimenting with different sounds and stuff. So let me know if there's anything you don't like for sure. But yeah, here you go. Here is a remix of Come Alive.
Is this the best night of your life?
All right, there you have it. That's what I have so far. I'm not sure about the middle. I don't know about that. I'm not sure that works, but I might move it to the end or just get rid of the outro. I'm not sure. We'll see. But thanks everybody for the feedback. Thanks for listening to that. Thanks for joining today for live community review. And yeah, thanks for all the great music. Really good stuff today, and great feedback for everybody, and great vibes and energy. So thanks everybody for making this such a great event and for making it so fun to host. Anyway, we'll see you guys again next week. Thanks.